come into a butterfly, in Yin Yoga, we do something called the long-legged butterfly, where the feet are not being very close, but rather the feet are a little bit further away. For some people, this creates a painful burning sensation in the inner knees. But if you put blocks underneath the thighs, the bones are now supported. And this is a very important principle in Yin Yoga. If the bones are supported, the muscles can relax. We want the muscles to relax in Yin Yoga so that the stress in the pose can go into the deeper connective tissues. But if the bones are floating, these muscles are going to engage. So even very experienced Yin Yoga students tend not to use blocks when maybe they should. If you've never done butterfly without a block before, try it. You might find it allows you to relax here, and that may make it easier for you to come into the pose.
And another way to support your knees is to use a bolster. So you can have a bolster across your mat or across your body underneath your knees. Depending on the height, you could raise the bolster with other blocks or blankets on top if you need a higher support under the knees, and then relax the legs and fold forward.
If you're not feeling anything at all, as we showed already, you can use sandbags to just make the pose a bit juicier, just resting them in towards the torso of the body. And now you've got a little bit extra weight helping the knees to come down.
You could combine too, so you could have sandbags on the thighs, but also support the knees so that your legs are heavy and rooting under the weight of the sandbags, but they have the support so they're not going too far down.
And if your feet tend to slide out, again, one of the uses of sandbag is to restrain movement. So by putting a bag on the feet, now the feet aren't sliding out as you come forward into the pose. For some people, when they come forward, they may want a little bit extra juice along the spine. So by just judiciously placing the sandbag along the spine, you get more juice here. It's not advisable to let the sandbag drop from a great height, because that would be very yang-like. So just gently lay it down there.
If you want to change the angle that's happening at your hips when you're in your butterfly, you could use blocks between the feet, so that will abduct the legs a bit more, just to change the sensation perhaps, especially if you've been practicing the Yin poses for a while. So you can use various widths of block between the feet.
For some people, dropping the head is really problematic. They have neck issues or whatever. So another thing you can do, you can use a bolster and just rest your head on the bolster. There's a number of different ways to do it. If you want to go a bit lower, again, the nice thing with the blocks, they have the different height settings. You can rest on the high setting, rest your head into your hands here. You find you can use this for a lot of seated forward folds. As you open up, you can just change the height setting here. Okay, so another option in butterfly is to use a chair. So we'll just grab a chair, and Dan will show a way of using a chair as a prop.
If you don't have a chair, you could use a stool as well. You could use a table if you have one nearby. So if you have a student who's not able to come very far forward, it's nice to give them support so they can relax in the pose. So a chair, maybe a chair with a blanket on top if they're higher up, with a bolster on that as well, so they can lean forward and find support in their practice. You could also use a chair if you're doing a reclining butterfly. It may be too high up for some people, but a nice variation to play with. Lying on your back with your feet on top of the chair, so you get a little bit more height. If a chair is too high, you could use a bolster for your feet as well. So reclining butterfly is a nice variation if a student isn't able to go forward, if their back isn't feeling safe in a forward fold.